Today we're breaking down and doing a full in-depth review of the Sony FE 35mm F1.8. We're breaking this thing down, we're looking at photography, we're looking at video, and basically everything in between. Let's get going. So we're jumping into an in-depth review of Sony's newer full-frame lens, the FE 35mm 1.8. If you're new here and like this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And right before we jump into the build and a quick unboxing of this lens, here's a few specs to get you going that you'd find on the website or on the box. So in typical minimalist Sony style, you won't find much in the box. Just a little bit of paperwork, the lens itself, and a lens hood. As far as the overall build of this lens, it's fantastically small, measuring only 2 7/8 inches long by 2 5/8 inches wide, making it great to carry in basically every situation. It's great for gimbal work, it's great for traveling, and pretty much everything you throw at it. It's also a very light lens, weighing only 280 grams or just over half a pound. It does have 55mm filter threads and a nice clean metal mount. Unfortunately, Sony's once again left out a little rubber gasket, making this lens not properly weather sealed. You'll find one button and one switch on this lens, the button being a customizable focus hold button, and the switch is an automatic manual focus switch. The metal focus ring is electronically coupled to your camera, feels nice, and performs smoothly and accurately. Overall, the build of this lens is good. It's not quite as hefty as the 85, but similar, and definitely an upgrade from the 50mm 1.8. All in all, I give build 4 solid stars. Next, let's tackle value and see how it stacks up. It's a very competitive market, and with anything Sony, you definitely get what you pay for, and with the 35 1.8, it's definitely no exception. It's by no means a cheap lens, coming in at around $750 US, but being one of Sony's newest full-frame lenses, it does have some advantages, including technology and optics. Sure, there are faster lenses out there, as well as some third-party options, but comparing the performance that you'll see in a second, and throwing in the amazing size and weight of this lens, it's going to be tough to beat. We will get into the nitty-gritty of this lens, but as far as value is concerned, given what we've talked about, I give this lens a solid 4 stars. So let's have a look at performance now. And this thing performs well pretty much across the board. When it comes to autofocus, I'm happy to report that it's amazingly quick and accurate and basically silent, making it great for stills or video. Like anything, it's not perfect, but it does do a great job consistently at tracking in video, and it definitely won't let you down when it comes to stills either. And as far as bokeh is concerned, it's absolutely beautiful and pretty much what you'd expect out of a 1.8. Full disclosure, 35mm is not my go-to or my favorite focal length by any means. Personally, I find myself going for a 50 or an 85 if I'm shooting prime, and maybe that's just my style. But I can definitely understand and start to see why this lens is so popular. It's just a very versatile lens. You can do a lot with it. It's a fast, light lens, and it's pretty much great for anybody. You can shoot portraits with it, you can shoot landscapes with it. It's great for video, you can throw it in your bag. It's just an overall great lens. So I thought I'd start with photography and show you guys some of the pictures that I've taken over the last few weeks here so that you can be the judge. We'll start with photography and we'll get into kind of the sharpness and whatnot here in a bit, but for the most part, here's some stuff that I've taken. Hope you like it. So there's a few pictures that I've taken with this thing just in the last few weeks. Nothing too crazy, just bouncing around town and whatnot. Just to give you an idea of what you guys can expect and what that focal range really looks like. So I will say the sharpness of this lens is absolutely outstanding. It is very, very sharp, basically corner to corner. And unfortunately, I don't find myself utilizing it all too much just because it's a 1.8 and I like to shoot wide open. Why not? Why wouldn't you? So consider that, but do know that what you're partially paying for is the amazing sharpness of this lens. So if you are using it for landscapes or what have you, it's going to be sharp absolutely through and through in pretty much whatever you're doing. I'm filming on it right now, so this is another example of what you can expect out of video just here in the shop. For you technical nerds, here's an example of the sharpness. This is taken at f8, which I found to be pretty much the sharpest of the focal range. And as you can see here, it's fantastically sharp throughout the whole image. But do note there is a little bit of distortion and some vignetting that comes with this lens, which can be easily corrected with just a simple click in post. And here's what that looks like. So when it comes to video shooting, this lens is more than capable. It's actually designed by Sony to be an amazing video lens. And yeah, it's not a professional cinema lens by any means, but in the right hands of a good hobbyist or professional, you can make amazing things happen with this lens. I'm not a video professional at all, but I do put together some clips for myself for fun, for the channel, and for clients sometimes. So I wanted to throw it out there and show you guys exactly what I've put together in the last little bit when it comes to video, so you might have an idea what you can expect. Here you go. So summing up performance in every aspect, I give this lens 4.5 solid stars. A great performer. So wrapping up and really looking at this lens as a whole, I think this thing is an absolutely incredible performer. If you're looking for a 35mm and that's the focal length you need or you love, this is probably going to be a great contender. Yeah, it's not the fastest lens, but for what it is, for the size and the weight and what you're getting, it's outstanding. As promised, here's my pros and cons, and yeah, there's not very many cons. It is a little bit expensive. I would have liked to see it a bit closer to the 85's price, but it is newer with a bit more technology, faster focusing, and a little bit more directed towards video, so you do get what you pay for. And rating this lens as a whole, I give the Sony 35mm F1.8 4.5 stars. I also like to rate things on a scale from never think about again to consider to definitely buy. And if you're in the market for a 35mm that performs amazingly, is small and light and doesn't break the bank, this might be the one for you. And this is really close to a definite buy. So now you know everything that you need to know about the 35mm f1.8, a great all-around lens. And if you like this video, guys, if it helped you out, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Drop your questions in the comments down below. If you want to pick this lens up, if you want to buy it, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description for you that'll take you to where you need to go to buy it as well. And like always guys, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you next time.